All right, everybody. This is DJ REM from Quote the Raven. I have Alex from the Cassini Project on with me today. How you doing, Alex?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome. So why don't you start kind of like by introducing yourself and talk a little bit about the Cassini Project and kind of what's going on with it.
Yeah, sure. I'm one-man bands, and I've recorded an album called Blue Ocean Event, which is out now on Spotify. These are all the kind of major places if you want to listen to it. And yeah, it's kind of like prog rock. So that's the kind of music I make. But I cross different genres as well. So there's a bit of like metal and industrial rock, and even some kind of folksy ballads as well. So yeah, that's basically the Cassini project. Yeah.
Okay. And you
Good.
said when did you release your album?
It's July 18th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a
Okay.
couple of days ago. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Where can people go to listen to it, to buy it, etc.? Where's the good places?
Yeah, you can find it on like Spotify, as I said, Tidal, Apple Music, Deezer. You can get it on Bandcamp. Bandcamp's awesome if you want to support it directly. You can find it on YouTube. So yeah, just the major kind of outlets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bandcamp is awesome. That's my favorite platform to go to support artists. Is it?
Yeah.
Do you have it physical copies as well? Is it just digital right now?
At the moment, it's just digital. Yeah. Be nice if I had physical copies, like a vinyl pressing of it would be cool. Yeah.
Vinyl would be fantastic, and I would buy it if you if you put it out on vinyl. I'm a huge vinyl collector. I actually love the medium. So
yeah, it's great.
So tell me, one man doing this all yourself, Cassini project. So how did this kind of all start for you?
Yeah, like essentially, like I was in several different bands at the time, and it was pretty hard to keep those bands going because, like, somebody might leave for whatever reasons, and then you have to find the replacement. And like, we would have guys coming in, and they might show up, and sometimes they didn't at all. And if they did show up, like they might not come back because, like, they had work commitments and things like that. So I was kind of finding that it was holding us back, holding me back as well. So I kind of thought, why not just do it solo? You know what I mean? Because that way I can just, record and move ahead with what I want to do. So, I kind of saw other musicians like that, like, Trent Reznor, he just went solo and just did it himself.
Yeah.
Devin Townsend, like, Malmsteen, like, all those guys are soloists. So I just thought, yeah, that's what I'll do. And that's the genesis of where it started. That's how I got started. So yeah, what was the question again? I kind of forgot it halfway through there.
No, you hit it. You hit it right on.
All right. Okay, good.
Yeah. No, you got it. So yeah, how did you come up with the name for the project? Where's that come from?
That's a great question. Basically, I was kind of like thinking, I kind of liked the idea of space and Saturn, like the planet, and I had a Sega Saturn at the like from childhood, so I thought, like, so this is like a kind of scientific exploration mission called the Cassini Huygens probe, I think it was called. I thought, oh, I'll call it the Cassini project, and then also I had a fan in Italy, and I kind of just named it, like, because Cassini is a kind of an Italian sounding kind of word, so I just thought I'll name it that as well, just as a kind of nod to Italy, like, thumbs up for like my music from the start. So yeah, yeah, that's where the name originated, like that kind of what's the word I'm looking for, kind of confluence of, like, favorite planet being Saturn, favorite kind of video games console being the Sega Saturn, space, science, and Italy.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Very good. And so with this new album that's out, how long did it take, kind of like from when you started writing to actually putting it all together, recording it, the whole process? What would that look like for you?
Yeah, it took years. Like, I mean, like, I wrote those songs over a number of years, and then what I did was I picked the best songs to go on the album. So like, sometimes I would go back to them and sort of change, particular arrangements. Like that would be the case with False Dawn, where I had a kind of different kind of time signature in the middle eight. So I changed that to make it a little bit more marching, as it were.
Okay.
As opposed to kind of what I originally had was kind of a waltz kind of time, which I didn't really feel fit with the rest of the song. So, I would be going back and revising certain parts of these songs. And then the way I recorded it was essentially like, again, the kind of conditions were right for this. So I had the money at this point, and then I also had a drummer who would actually play on the songs, and a studio that I could access. So before that, like, it was very hard to get a drummer to play, because drummers are kind of like unicorns in a way. They're, difficult to find. So, with all those kind of parameters set, I was able to go ahead and make an actual, proper studio recorded album. So like the way I would do it is I record the songs like in batches of 2s or 4s. And, I'd have like about, 2 months or 4 months between each kind of studio recording interval. And what I would do is I would, rehearse the parts like a lot, like ad infinitum, until they were kind of like sort of muscle memory, because the kind of time in the studio is quite limited, like for, you're paying by the hour. So,
right. Yeah.
And then the other thing is like a lot of my songs have a lot of layers and intricate parts. So like I had to know them kind of that well to kind of bash them out to get it, done in that kind of time frame. So that's kind of how the recording process went for it. And it took about a year and a bit. Like, I mean, the pandemic happened, which was kind of a little bit of a disruption, but it actually gave me more time to practice some of the songs. So I guess it worked out in that way.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm in lockdown, so I might as well work on your music, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. So what kind of influences have you had in your life that got you into music and kind of helped lead you down this path?
Oh yeah, totally.
And part of that question is because I'm always curious to know, like, besides, and I'm interested to know like what bands and stuff you listen to. But besides that, did you have someone in your family that was musically inclined? That kind of sparked your interest?
Yeah, sure. My brother introduced me to the Beatles and Queen from a very early age. Also Mozart and Beethoven. Kind of prefer Beethoven. And Buddy Holly as well, and kind of a huge range of different types of music. I'd say like Queen and the Beatles would be kind of like the foundations of what kind of got me into music. Rolling Stones, the Stranglers. So that was like when I was very young. So I've always had a kind of lifelong kind of love, as it were, of rock music. And yeah, like, I mean, then, I was kind of like growing up, I was into kind of, classic rock, like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, but also kind of indie rock. There used to be a radio station in Ireland called Phantom FM, and they would play like, rock music and metal, which was really cool. I used to listen to that a lot. And then, when I got to university, I became interested in the Mars Volta. They were kind of a big influence. I was also into Jimi Hendrix because he's like a left-handed guitarist, as I am too. And let's see, Nine Inch Nails, got into Nine Inch Nails and Opeth, then Meshuggah. So like, those kind of artists would have a big influence on me. Yeah.
Well, what I love, what I just heard, is you have a very wide, eclectic range of musical tastes. And I can appreciate that because I do too. I listen everything that you named off. I like all that. I listen to all that. And there's a piece of me that loves classical music, So when I'm out in a record store and I'm digging through the metal section, then I might go to the classical music section to see what I can find in there. So definitely, that's super cool. So are you in Ireland right now?
Yes, I'm in Ireland right now. Yeah, Dublin.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. Very cool. How's the music scene there? I mean, do you ever, with this current, well, I guess it's probably kind of tough with being one person. Do you ever go out and do any live performances right now?
Not at the moment. Like, I mean, I'd need to get a band together to do that.
Right.
so yeah, at the moment I don't do live performances. I think like, the virtual online environments could be a possibility to kind of do live performances, like um I mean, I've watched videos or heard stuff about that, like that's the future of the kind of live performance scene. That would be interesting to explore. But yeah, currently I wouldn't be able to.
All right.
But as regards to the music scene, like I mean, there is definitely a kind of underground metal rock scene which is alive and kicking. I mean, you have bands like Scathed that are doing well. That's pretty cool. So City and Rail, I'm not sure if they're still around anymore, but yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I looked at like your music playlist right now, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
Let me think. Music playlist, what bands? Probably Biomechanical. They're kind of this sort of like a symphonic progressive metal bands from like the mid noughts. I'm sort of listening to them a lot at the moment. Let's see who else. I sort of listen to Black Sabbath as well, and Beck. Beck. Yeah, I
Yep.
really like what he does. Like just the way he kind of goes from one genre to the next, like on a single album. Thin Lizzy are great. Reverend Bizarre is actually what I'm listening to at the moment. They're kind of a Finnish doom metal band.
Okay.
And I picked up a vinyl record of theirs in Obscene Extreme, that festival in Trutnov. So I was
I
there
have
last
not heard
week.
of that one. No.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's just a mental heavy metal music festival, like death metal, kind of grindcore, all that kind of stuff. And people can get up on the stage and then jump off the stage.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, like that'd be what I'm currently listening to. That's what you would find on my playlist.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a couple metal festivals coming up that I'm going to next month because I'm here in the US in Michigan, and we have one coming up called Michigan Metal Fest. And
Cool.
So that's gonna have 3 stages, like 40 bands playing.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that. And then the owners of Metal Devastation Radio are actually putting on a metal fest in Tennessee where they're at, and that's in October. And I'm gonna go to that too. So
Great. Yeah.
looking forward to some. And it's both of them are more underground-ish metal. It's not like your big mainstream stuff, which I'm definitely more about. So I'm excited to go do that.
Cool.
But so aside from Bandcamp, like for your music, what social media are you on for people to check you out?
Yeah, I have a very active YouTube channel. So like, I mean, I have covers as well. I recently completed a cover of Brahms Violin Concerto in D major, which was a monumental task, and I think it was pretty cool. It kind of worked out pretty well. I have a cover of I did one cover version, as it's amazing like how it took off. Like it's just weird. Like it's amazing. It's there's an anime called not Guts, was it Berserk?
Okay.
And there's like a character in it called Berserk. I think no Guts. Sorry, that's his name. And there's a theme for him, which is just incredibly like poignant, right? Very powerful, beautiful piece of music. So I kind of did a rock interpretation of it, sort of like Pink Floyd. And yeah, it got like a 100,000 listens on Spotify so far.
Oh wow,
And
that's
like
awesome.
yeah, and a couple of 100,000 views on like my own videos got like about 15,000 views, but like this Russian guy took the idea, and it got like 80,000 views. Like so he mixed it in with different types of music. But yeah, it's pretty cool, like that, the way that worked out. So like yeah, I'm on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok a bit. I think at SoundCloud, Jamendo. That's JAMENDO.
Okay.
Yeah, you can download albums from there. So yeah, that's kind of pretty cool. It's
So
kind
you're
of like
pretty much
Bandcamp.
everywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Yep. So, and is it under Cassini Project?
Yes, and there's a bit of a trick to spelling this. So it's like the Cassini project. So it's like the and then Cassini. Then project is spelled Projekt,
Yep.
because I wanted to be cool and spell it weirdly, because a bit of a Germanic kind of effect as well,
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it makes it hard to find.
Well, yeah, but spelling it differently makes it easier to
Yeah.
not have to worry about other other people
Yeah.
having the same name.
Yes. Yeah, indeed.
Awesome. Awesome. So what you know, besides making music, I mean, your musical interests, do you have any other crazy hobbies you're into, things you do, or is music kind of like everything you do?
Well, that's an interesting question because, like, yes, music would technically be everything I do, but yeah, I like making videos. So I make videos to go along with my songs.
Okay.
So that's a kind of good interest for me to have. And then also I do art as well. So I actually finished doing the cover, the art, like the artwork for like a second album that I'm working on at the moment, called Grass Messiah, which should be out at
I
some point.
saw, yeah, I
Oh,
saw
really?
the art
Yeah.
and I was like, that is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
and did I read that like you came up with that from a dream or something?
Absolutely. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's
It was a
awesome.
crazy dream. It was a really nice dream. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's pretty
Yeah, no,
chill.
that artwork is super cool. I was like, that is, yeah. So
Cool.
I'm assuming you're already starting to write new music for that.
Oh, it's almost finished actually. Like,
Oh,
so I was in the studio yesterday, and yeah, it was just going really well. I actually fit in an extra song, so like I have to finish that one up in a couple of weeks. But yes, there's like a second album almost done, um
yeah. Did
to
I
be
see
released
that
at
you?
some point.
Yeah, because I feel like I read you were the date you had down was like 2025.
Yeah, kind of. Circumstances permit. I'd like to get it out earlier than that, but
Okay.
yeah, to get the kind of conditions right for it to be released, so people know it exists. Thinking it could be around then. Yeah.
So
Mm.
what do you when you say conditions are right, what do you look for?
Just a plan, like, of how to put it out there, because music, like, it gets drowned out in the sea of other music. So maybe a record label, or or a promotional campaign, but the conditions have to be kind of favorable to put it out there. So it might take some time. Also, work and sort of like that, like, might get in the way in between now and then. So
Right.
yeah, I might want to do a tour for it. If I got a band together, that would
Oh,
be
that'd be super cool.
awesome. So yeah, exactly. So like it's kind of like I would be inclined to kind of be cautious about how to release it,
Yeah.
because the worst thing you can do is just like put it out there immediately, and then that's it. So I think it's good to kind of prepare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, because you want people to actually know it's there, like you said, and actually
exactly.
and
Yeah.
to listen to it. So
Mm,
yeah.
exactly.
All right. Super
Mm.
cool. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you want to make sure people know about Cassini Project or yourself?
Mm, let's have a look, see if there's anything. Not really. I think yeah, I think we've covered everything. Just like check out Blue Ocean Event because it's awesome. If you like prog rock, if you like kind of like, it's kind of a bit like how Beck would approach music, in the respect that he did a lot of different styles, like on Odelay, and like even Midnight Vultures a bit, even though it was funk themed, but he do lots of different styles. So it's kind of like, if going back to the whole influence thing, it's kind of like that like, I mean, that would be one dude that had a big influence on my approach. It's just like, to do different types of music rather than just like just the one,
Right.
and experiment. So like, if you want like variety and filter through a kind of prog rock lens, like, that's the album Blue Ocean Event. So yeah, check it
All right.
out.
Cool. 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 Well,
Mm,
I will definitely check out the whole album,
mm,
and we'll do everything I can to support you. I'll make sure it gets some airplay on my radio show, and
mm.
we'll just we'll help push it out there. And you know, we'll push this interview out to people, hopefully help draw some extra attention and things. So I want to thank you for taking time to talk to me today. It's been great.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Spencer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Spencer. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See you then. Bye.
Yep. Have a great evening.
Thanks. Same to you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.